Chapter 4. Allergic to school. When I was your age, my dad said at breakfast the next day, I was scared of school too. Worse, I was never a superhero before I went to school. School was very rough. My dad is not superhero material, but he has read practically everything ever written about superheroes, so knows us from beginning to end, which explains a lot about it. Just hold your head high, said my dad, and be a gentleman. I feel sick, I said. My dad put a hand on my forehead. No fever, he said. You sure? I looked at his hands. They were thick, like baseball mitts. It was a wonder he could feel anything through them. Where does it hurt? He asked. All over, I said. It was true. I was not making it up. I must have grown at least 2 inches from stretching so long in the tree. And growing hurts, as everyone knows. I gave a little moan. Said my dad. I moaned a little more. You're not sick, said my dad. But I will be, I said. I will be very, very sick. I'm allergic to school. Severely allergic. My dad looked at me. Alvin, he said firmly, putting one of his mitts on my shoulder. Yes, Dad? You'll be okay, son, he said. I love it when he calls me that. Son. I felt a little better. Maybe my dad was right. Maybe I would be okay. A good word from my dad changes everything. Besides, if I missed the bus, my dad might have a few other words for me. So I dashed out of the house and caught up with Calvin just as the bus was pulling up to the end of our driveway. Bye, Alvin, cried Annabelle. Bye, Calvin. Bye, Annabelle. We waved and climbed on. The wheels on the bus went round and round. I was okay. I clutched my PDK and sat next to Calvin in the back of the bus where all the fourth graders sit. The big kids screamed their heads off. I screamed my head off. We bounced up and down. You will be okay, son. My dad's voice echoed between my ears. I smiled at Calvin, and Calvin smiled back. I was okay. Then we arrived at school. My sneakers landed like a couple of cement blocks when I got off the bus. Pvump, pvump. My stomach turned like a washing machine when I got on inside. I found the door that said, 2nd grade, Miss Pestalozzi. My throat tightened. Welcome, said a lady. I'm Miss P. I stopped dead in my tracks. Her hair was shiny, and her skin was clean. She smelled like fresh laundry out of the dryer. She smiled at me, but I did not smile back. I hardly even looked at her. I clutched my PDK. I felt dizzy. I looked around. The room was bright and neat. The walls were blank except for a picture of Henry David Thoreau and another picture of a small cabin. It's a copycat version of the original cabin that Henry had built at Walden Pond with his own hands. Henry David Thoreau is my hero, Isha said to her friend Flea. You know, he kept a really cool journal. My sister said we get to read parts of it in 2nd grade. Everyone pushed past me. Eli shoved Scooter, and Scooter shoved back. You're it, cried Scooter, tagging Eli, who tripped backward over Jules, who was curled on the floor, waiting for Sam to leapfrog. Then Hobson and Nia scuttled across the room like 2 crabs in a deathlock. They were terrific. Everything whirled around me. I was in the middle of it, but I was not in it at all. So far, 2nd grade wasn't any different from 1st grade, which wasn't any different from kindergarten. I was thinking about running and hiding when... Want to be desk buddies again? It was Flea. She was my desk buddy in 1st grade. She's a girl. I wanted to say no way. Nobody wants a girl desk buddy except for maybe a girl. The scary thing about girls is that they are not boys. Most girls are no good at robbery and mayhem. They can't punch. They can kick, which hurts. They skip rope too fast. They're boring. I opened my mouth to tell her all this, but my tongue turned into sandpaper. Nothing came out. Come on, said Flea, pulling out the chair next to her. You can sit with me and Esha. Everyone was choosing their seat and sitting down. Soon it would be too late to sit with the boys. I opened my mouth. I wished for my voice. I wished and wished and wished, but nothing came out. Finally, I slumped into the chair. I was not okay. I was so allergic to school, but I was even more allergic to girls.